Hello and welcome to the Ladies Football Show on the 42 in association with the LGFA. I'm your host for the afternoon. My name's Emma Duffy. So we've kind of had a busy few weeks. We came to you live from Bangkok on the TG Carr All Stars tour with Aisling Maloney, and then last week Jackie Cahill was joined by Mayo's Kelly sisters to discuss the Gourmet Food Parlour O'Connor Cup weekend. So after a busy weekend of round 6 Little Ladies National Football League action, we're back in the West. We're joined by Áine McDonagh from Galway. Welcome.
Hi, Emma, how are you?
Good, thanks for joining us, Áine.
No problem.
I suppose we'll kind of start with the obvious. So on Sunday, Áine played a key part as Galway beat All-Ireland champions Dublin. It was a big win.
Yeah, it was huge for us to get a good win under our belt against Dublin, like the likes. Yeah, so it was good to get that win over.
And I suppose maybe looking back at the match, it sounded like a cracker. So there was kind of a period of dominance in front of the post in the second half where you kind of took the lead and held on. They scored a late goal, but you held on.
Yeah, I thought it really did show great character because, like as Tracy said before during the weekend, that like maybe last year in times like that we might have buckled under pressure and let Dublin kind of carry away with it because all the momentum was going with them. And then Nicola Ward put in an unbelievable tackle to get us back the ball to go up and go on and get it free for us, and Tracy held to composure and popped the ball over the bar. So yeah, it was a fantastic way to finish it out as well. Absolutely.
And I suppose on that final whistle blew, obviously bit of relief, nice to get the win, but you have plenty of tough tests ahead still.
Yeah, definitely. Like I know that it was a good win to get, but again, it's only a league match at the end of the day. Like Dublin had 10 girls away on the All-Star trip, which is an unbelievable achievement, but they had 10 gone, so I know that they weren't training with them during the week. So it's only a league game, so now we're up against Cork next weekend, which is obviously going to be another huge one, but like we're just taking it kind of easy, as it is. Like it is only a league game, so we're not going to get too ahead of ourselves.
Of course. So I suppose maybe we'll speak a bit more about that Cork match and kind of the weeks ahead towards the end of the show, but maybe we can kind of look back on last weekend. So you had a busy weekend even before your own game on Sunday. You had two cousins involved with Cuala on Saturday down in Portlaoise. So Mark and Paul Schutte helped Cuala to their second All-Ireland title on the bounce. That was a nice day. You were there?
Oh yeah, it was absolutely huge. We were down there the first day in Croke Park as well, which was just a nail bar to the end. To be honest, I shouldn't be saying this, but they were lucky to get the second day in. So it was good for them to get the win. It was unbelievable. Like my whole family was there, and it was a proud moment for us because we were so happy with the lads.
Of course, and I suppose for Mark to score the goal as well, that was nice too.
Yeah, it was actually funny. Me and my brother Fionn were sitting. He happened right in front of us, and there was two players in front of him. And by the time he got past the first one, Fionn was like, "It's a goal! It's a goal!" He knew it. So yeah, it was class. It was unbelievable as well. It was fair play to the lads.
Brilliant. And I suppose you didn't really get to celebrate that now on Saturday night. You had to go home to bed early for Sunday.
Yeah, I was straight home to bed early. I got a few photos and then I went off back to bed for the night, locked the door, stayed in my room because of the game tomorrow. Wasn't letting anyone disturb my sleep. I had to get it in.
Of course. But I suppose on you look, you have two first cousins there. You don't really have to look too far for inspiration in a really sporting family.
Yeah, no, it was like all the way growing up. Like the lads were always so good to me and my brothers growing up. They'd always take us up to Cuala and we'd be going around, pucking around and kicking the ball around. So like it was always kind of in us to be playing all the time. We always had a ball in hand no matter where we were. So yeah, like looking up to the lads, it's like it is definitely a huge inspiration, to keep us going, and it's nice for us to be following along with them now.
Of course. And I'm right in saying that your mother Joan, she played camogie for Dublin as well.
Yeah, she did her bit now with the Dublin camogie team. She got to a few All-Irelands, but she didn't come out the better side of either of them against Cork. She was telling you that herself. She tells all the stories, yeah.
And you played a bit of camogie yourself too, but kind of stuck more to the football.
Yeah, it was I actually played hurling until I was 14 with the lads.
Okay.
And then they finally told me you're actually not allowed to play with the lads anymore, unfortunately. So then I had a short stint with the camogie team for about 2 years when we got to the Fela. And then that kind of fell apart gradually. So then, so I kind of stuck with football then.
Good stuff. And then there was a bit of basketball too, or there still is.
Yeah, I played. I started off basketball when I was about 8. It actually started off more as just to kind of get involved with the girls. It was just to kind of spend time with my friends who were actually involved in football, and then it wasn't until we were under 14s that we actually started taking it seriously, and then we went on to win a couple of Ireland. So it was pretty good basketball wise, yeah.
Brilliant. And you're still playing away basketball. You just told me off air that your season finished up with the basketball, so kind of focusing on the football now. Yeah,
I was playing with the NUIG Super League team this year. We had a bit of a rough season. We didn't do too well, but it's still good to get the basketball in. So now that finished there a couple of weeks ago. So concentrating completely now on the football.
Good stuff. And you've represented Ireland for basketball too?
Yeah, it was actually funny kind of how I got involved. I went for the under-14 Galway team, and then I didn't make it. I got cut from the team, and then my mom was like, oh, you should try something else instead of just sitting around, because my friend Alva Davern, she made the team and it was fantastic for her. And then I ended up going out trying for the basketball team, me and my friend Catherine Kinnair. So then we ended up making the under-16 Irish team, and then from then I kind of went on and was on 2 other Irish teams. So brilliant. Yeah, it was good for that.
And we actually have a comment just in from Alva herself. You get scared to look at the screen. She says, up my GA, so I suppose.
Up my ga.
Yeah, my Cullen. Up my ga.
Up my ga, yeah.
There we go. So I suppose that's a reference to my Cullen, the club at home.
It is, yeah, indeed. Yeah, I know the girls are actually away now in Portugal tuning in live, so I'll give them a quick shout out.
So yourself and Alva are at home with county commitments?
Yeah, we're at home while they're away up in Portugal living up in the sun, so yeah, we're tipping away anyways, me and Alv.
Has to be done. I suppose as well, just on the family, your uncle, the late Mick Holden, he was a Dublin dual player, one of the 12 Apostles from 1983. I suppose, do you remember much about him growing up, Áine?
Well, when I was younger, like, even still, like, even going back to Cuala, like, everyone that comes up to me is just telling me stories about him, you know, about him doing this, and supposedly he was an unbelievable character, like, especially within the club. Like, there's so many funny stories that I get off him. But, like, in terms of, like, sport, he always says that, like, he was a hurler, and hurlers can play football. He was always a hurl man, but he ended up playing the football and he's good at it. So yeah, that's where I get a lot of it from as well, I guess. So yeah, no, I'm very proud of him as well. Didn't get to see him much, obviously, because he passed away a couple of years ago. But yeah, no, it was great to have him as well involved.
I suppose, like, crazy to have that much inspiration around you, and the family growing up.
Yeah, I know, if I didn't turn out like this, like, they'd be looking at me like, what happened to you? But
I suppose, Áine, 2017 was quite a big year for yourself on an individual level. So you did your leaving cert during the summer, you made your Galway senior debut, you had a great year with the club as well with Mike Cullen. Maybe we could talk about that first. So you won the Connacht title, the intermediate title.
Yeah, we well, like, the bunch of girls I'm with are absolutely incredible. I started off with the Mike Cullen, the ladies team, when I was only 14, 15. Me and Alva were drafted in, and from there we went from junior C straight up to intermediate, like, straight run, and that was unbelievable. And then we lost out, unfortunately, in 2016 in the intermediate final against Annadown. And then so we came back last year, and we knew that the aim from the start was, you know, to get up senior, playing senior football. That's where everyone wanted to kind of get to. So then we ended up last year winning the intermediate, the county final, and then for everything that then went on was just a bit of a bonus. So we got then to the Connacht final, won that, and then unfortunately lost in the All-Ireland semis to Kinsale. Yeah,
so I suppose that day against Kinsale it was quite tight.
Yeah, it was a tough game. They kind of pushed ahead then, and then we ended up bringing it back. I think we got a late goal or two or something, but unfortunately then they won by a point. So, you know, it was a tough defeat, but they were good on the day, I have to give it to them. But hopefully we'll be back, you know, this year. But yeah, so it was good win last year. And
I suppose there is nothing kind of like winning with the club, like playing with those girls you've grown up with.
Oh, there's actually nothing like them. Like, all the girls there, like, my Cullen's a kind of tight knit bond, and just all of the girls there, like, they're my best friends. Like, they've been there since day one. So, you know, it was unbelievable to go on a journey with them like that, especially with the girls that, you know, you spend like almost every day with anyways. So to have that kind of win with them, it was just huge. And even bringing it back to the club with everyone there around, it was just, yeah, and it's nothing like club, really. There's not.
And I think Emma Carter sums it up pretty well with her comment. She just says up the parish.
Up the parish, that's right. She's now away in Portugal and she's watched me, so enjoy it, Emma.
So shout out to Emma in Portugal. And then, of course, Galway last year. So you made your senior championship debut for Galway in the final, the Connacht final against Mayo, wasn't it?
Yeah,
so
against
that's kind
Mayo.
of a nice day to make it.
Yeah, it was. I wasn't actually originally down for starting, but I ended up starting then, and thankfully, you know, we had a great start, and then we kind of pushed on from then. Didn't really look back, and yeah, it was an unbelievable day that day again, beating Mayo. Yeah, especially in McHale Park.
Of course. Bit of rivalry there, isn't it?
Yeah, just a bit.
Slight bit. And then maybe earlier in the league we can kind of go back to, so kind of made a few appearances through the league yourself. You're beaten by Donegal in the semi-final. You know what's coming, do you?
I know exactly what you're going to go up now, yeah.
So Áine came off the bench in that semi-final against Donegal, and she wasn't on the pitch too long, but
about 3 minutes, I think.
3 minutes, and she was shown a straight red card in the closing stages, so maybe she could tell us what happened there.
Oh, what happened? Oh, I know I wasn't there for the week before, so I got put on kind of late into the game, and we were down by a good bit, so I felt like I needed to bring a fresh new pair of legs, fresh new energy into the game, so I kind of went on with almost too much energy, and I ended up losing a limb, throwing it back in someone's face, and yeah, again, a straight red card, so it wasn't great, but yeah, no, it's over now.
And I suppose we just saw that picture there come up on the screen.
Did it come up?
It came
up.
Little smirk on the face.
I know, I don't even know what I was thinking.
Look, it happens. But I suppose last year then you won Connacht, went on through the All-Ireland stages, and then in the quarter-final I suppose it was a bit of a day to forget against Cork. They were beaten in Mullingar. Yeah,
it was. Listen, we came out well, like we came out strong, and I don't know, just then Cork kind of got a run, and it was hard to kind of stop them from that, and we kind of, like, it was hard, but I feel like this year we've definitely improved big time. Like, we've got the Wards back in, which is absolutely huge, and I think as well, like, the character of the team has been built, like, hugely, like, again against Dublin. Like, if that happened last year we probably would have just died down and let them win the game, but this year we really stepped up, so hopefully we'll be pushing on from last year.
Brilliant stuff. And we've another question in here. Can we ask Áine about the impact Stephen Glennon has made as manager? He's spoken about how last year was a learning curve, and there was a big defeat to Cork in the All-Ireland quarter-final, which we've spoken about, and kind of how have the players learned from that?
Yeah, no, Stephen's come in, and his influence has actually been huge in terms of, like, in general, the ladies, I know my first year was his first year as well, but, like, from talking to the rest of the girls, like, he's brought a completely new kind of look on the ladies football. He's brought in huge big like added bonuses to us that maybe they wouldn't have had before. Like, we've unbelievable coaching staff now with us, like Mike Homer and Noel and all that, so he's definitely brought up the standard hugely in terms of the Galway team. And what were the other questions? What was the part of the question?
And yeah, so you've spoken about the impact he's had, and then how have the players kind of learned from last year? So maybe last year was a learning curve, that defeat to Cork.
Definitely.
How have you learned?
Well, like last year it was kind of like it was Stephen's first year, and like I thought he did very well for last year. Like, coming in new, like, it's a hard job to come into, but I thought he did very well, and I think the girls are definitely, like, we took that loss kind of hard, especially because it was such a big loss. Like, it wasn't just, we weren't even up to the mark, I really think. So definitely the girls have come back, and, like, we're putting it really in a training especially, and we just want to make sure that it never happens to us again.
Of course, and Stephen himself spoke after the Dublin win on Sunday about, you were focusing on the performance. You won't get too carried away with that win over Dublin, but focus on the performance, and that's kind of a big factor this year. Yeah, definitely, because we don't want to get carried away again. Like, we're just going to take the one game at a time. Like, we're not looking into the future, we're just thinking about the next game, and next game's against Cork, so we're really going to be putting in a hard training session this week, so hopefully we'll get a good result against Cork. But, like, again, Cork are a huge opposition, to come up against, so it'll be a tough game. Of course, and under your belt so far, you've wins against Monaghan, Kerry, and then of course Dublin. You've a draw with Donegal and a loss to Mayo, but as you say, Cork is the big game this Sunday. Yeah, Cork is a big game. Yeah, they are a fantastic side. They have the players in there. It'll really test our character as well. See how we're kind of doing, in terms of in the league and how we're going to be doing against them. So yeah, it's a big game. Looking forward to it. And you're sitting fourth in the table, which is quite good at this stage, but obviously Sunday is very important, and the following week against Westmeath, so you want to close it out with 2 wins? Yeah, definitely. It'll be great to close it out with 2 wins, but hopefully we'll get to the semi-finals this year, and then we'll push on from there, because last year we weren't too fortunate in the semi-finals, so hopefully we might get to the league final this year. Yeah, good stuff. And we've another question in as well for you, Áine. So do you think the league's kind of wide open this year? It appears that there are a few teams that could win it in Division 1. Yeah, definitely. I think like with last year, the way that it was Cork and Donegal in the final, and then a completely new 2 teams in the All-Ireland final, I thought it's really open. Like, any team really can get in there. Like, all the top teams, like Donegal are flying it this year, same with Cork and Dublin and Mayo, we're doing really well this year, so I think it's kind of anyone's game at this stage. You can't really tell where it's going to go at this stage. Yeah, of course, those 4 spots are going to be hotly contested over the next few weeks. I think big time. And I suppose you had a double header yourselves as well in Pearse Park. Yeah, we had a double header with the lads against Mayo, and that didn't really
didn't go too well. The girls, I don't know, we were really looking forward to it, and then things just didn't go right for us on the day. But you know, we kind of had to put that in the back burner. We all kind of had sat down and chat, saying where we're going to go from here, and I think that was really important. We kind of gelled then more as a team almost after the loss, so we kind of took it on the chin, kind of moved on, and we kind of got going again then in the league. But had a good win against Kerry, so yeah, that was good.
But nice to kind of have those double headers, nice to have those opportunities to play in front of bigger crowds and on the best pitches.
Yeah, definitely. I thought there's much more going into the ladies football this year, you know, with getting the double headers. I think it is good, like, you know, to get a bit of publicity and get a bit of recognition that I think that all the girls kind of deserve, because we put in just as much as the lads do. So yeah, it was nice to get in the double header with the lads. Yeah.
And we have another question on you. You're very popular today. I suppose with your basketball history, do you think the skills are transferable across the games?
Oh, 100%. Yeah, definitely. Like I just in small things, as in like handling and just your footwork, I think it's huge. Like even like the likes of like Kieran Donaghy's playing both as well, and he'd tell you as well that like it does transfer like hugely into the football, and I definitely do benefit a lot from the basketball with the football. So I'm glad that I can have both of them going, because you know they complement each other nicely, I think. Yeah,
of course. And do you kind of find it hard, just even time wise, to balance the two?
Well, that's a few people say that to me, but I've been doing it since I was literally like small, so it's kind of natural to me now. But like, I love it. I wouldn't want it to have any other way, to be honest. If I was sitting at home for a night, I'd be bored, to be honest, on my own. I wouldn't know what to do, so I just love going to trainings.
And is the plan to kind of keep them going together alongside each other for as long as possible?
Hopefully, yeah, because like I don't really want to get let go of either of them yet. Obviously not football, I'm only kind of getting started with that. So yeah, no, definitely I like to keep them both going at the same time, and thankfully I'm able to do it, and I manage it well, and the management has helped me do it as well. So yeah, so it's going well. Yeah,
good stuff. So you're enjoying yourself? Yeah,
I am big time.
So I think that's about all we have time for this week, but hopefully you enjoyed the chat with Áine as much as I did. So thanks so much, Áine, for calling in and joining us on the Ladies Football Show. We really appreciate your time,
no problem.
And best of luck in the coming weeks and
cheers.
Months ahead.
Thank you, Emma.
So we'll be keeping a close eye on Galway and the basketball as well, I'm sure. But thanks to everyone at home for tuning in. Enjoy the weekend's league action, and we'll be back next week with more ladies football chat. Thank you.
Thanks.